Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Good afternoon, everyone. Maybe good evening to some other people. Hello, hello. Welcome to another daily live stream. Today is Saturday, September 27th, 2025. Can you believe we're almost done with September? Where did September go? I have no idea. It's a really nice day in Chicago today. The high is like 84. It's sunny out. It's warm out. It's cold in this office, but it's okay. Before I continue, it's nice to see people here on a Saturday. Kevin, Sleck, Mandla, Maggie, May for the good, Miss Peaceful One. Who am I missing here? Aisha, put on the tiara. Margaret from Facebook. Sydney, K Betters, Nicole. Did I say Sydney? I think I did. Martha, Shauna, John Doe, Randall. Randall. Excuse me, Randall. Blow Jerome, check it in. I'm guessing that was you trying to say hello through your tap to speak or whatever you call it. Hi, Randall. Hi, Willis. Hi, Crybaby Bando. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. It's nice to see you here. And even before I get into nerd stats, let's take a look and see what some people have to say here. Kevin says, got my timer set. Broke at 155 hours this morning, 3.3 pounds down. Congratulations on the 155. How many days is that? 6 days? Longer than 6 days, yeah? Am I getting that right? Congratulations, Kevin. That's such a huge, huge accomplishment. Taking my refeed slow with bone broth and kimchi, feeling really good. Congrats, Kevin. Congrats. Next steps. What are we doing here? We doing another rolling? We getting some shorter fasts in? What are we doing? You're still going to show up, right? You're still going to be accountable. That's what I'm hoping for. Congrats, Kevin. Congrats. What else here? Maggie. Maggie's been doing OMAD, down another 0.6 pounds, down another half pound. It seems like every time Maggie's in here and sharing OMAD, a lot of great success. And look at, it's actually the perfect topic for today. Kevin just talked about finishing a 155-hour fast, Maggie doing OMAD, and today's topic is about flexible fasting, fasting flexibly. Fasting sometimes for long periods of time, fasting shorter periods of time. We're going to talk about that today. Congrats, Maggie. Congrats on moving the scale down as well. Miss Peaceful One, 66 and a half hours into my 120, over halfway there. Congrats, Miss Peaceful One. I'm getting a long fast under your belt as well. I'm glad you're feeling good. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. I love that for you. Another long fast. Are there any others in here right now pushing a long fast? I love it. I love it. Are there others pushing a shorter fast? Because again, there's nothing wrong with a short fast. There's nothing inherently wrong with long fasts either. It's about fasting flexibly. That sounds like a tongue twister there. And being good with it and working on your other weight loss levers, realizing that there's more to life than just fasting to get you to your health and your wellness goals. Aisha says, I'm still fasting, currently on day 3. Congrats, Aisha. It's nice to see you get back into the groove. My morning weight is around 198 to 200, depending on how I stood on the scale. I recently weighed myself again, and the scale read 196 to 200. So close to Wonderland. I mean, if you're showing 190, you're in Wonderland, but I get it. You're probably just wanting to sit there and be there for good. Shauna also says, completed a 65, still ADF, 2 longer ones. Let's go. Shauna, congrats. I love it, Shauna. I've been seeing a lot from Shauna lately as well, just showing up, showing accountability. I love that for you. Willis says, just got done. Currently 69 hours fasted and 22 and a half hours dry fasted. Wow. Willis, awesome. Love it. I love to see I love to see all the successes here. But as I talk about successes, as we share the good moments, remember, we're also here to share the good and the bad. Not every day is going to be a walk in the park. Not every day is going to be a home run. Speaking of home runs, I just saw that the Cubs are making it to the wild card. So my Cubs have a chance to make it to the playoffs. We'll see how they do. We'll see how they do. Baba Tunde, hello. Lynn, hello. Nice to see you all. Mandla, currently 22 hours in. I love that for you. Bebe says, finally got past the 24-hour mark after doing OMAD for a few weeks. There's another example of flexible fasting, doing OMAD, staying accountable, hitting the timer, and then now working that fasting muscle, building that fasting muscle to push past OMAD, to get past the 24 mark or the 24-hour mark. Congrats, baby. Congrats, baby. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Thomas asks, does diet soda break the fasting because insulin rises? I drink, and actually I'm drinking one right now. This is a Coke Zero. I drink a Coke Zero occasionally. I drink a black coffee occasionally. Does it break the fast? Well, that depends on the person you're asking. Super clean fasters who are completely strict and accept nothing else will tell you, yeah, it breaks. Scientifically, maybe it does, but I have checked my blood sugar even after drinking a Coke Zero or a Diet Coke, and I have no insulin spike. Or does it break for a short period? Autophagy, please explain. That's the best way I can explain it, but I'll tell you this, Thomas. When I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months, I did it drinking an occasional Coke Zero or an occasional Diet Coke or an occasional Diet Dr. Pepper. If your goal right now is to just get weight on the scale down, if your goal right now is to just lose weight, drinking a Coke Zero or a Diet Coke isn't going to hurt you, especially if you think of what the other option is. I always ask my clients this as well. Would you rather break with 3,000 calories or try to prolong it with a Coke Zero or try to prolong it with a seltzer water or try to prolong it with an iced coffee black or with a 0-calorie drink or even a 0-calorie sweetener? So you can play it however you want to play it. You want to get the autophagy results. You want the cleanest fast. Well, you know what you have to do? Keep it clean. Keep it water. You want to stay on the safe side and keep it that clean? Sure, if that's what you want to do. This is also your opportunity to play around with it, to do trial and error, to see if it's something that keeps you going, or would you want to break your fast? If you are trying to do the cleanest fast ever, and you're just trying to keep it straight water, and that's just how you have it in your head, that's fine. The best of luck to you or anyone else. But if your goal right now is to just get the weight down, I've worked with many people, I've coached many people where drinking a 0-calorie drink is beneficial for them because it continues to prolong their fast, whether you want to call it a clean fast or a dirty fast or whatever you want to call it. Even when people modify their fasts and they have 250 calories or 500 calories, that still puts them at a huge caloric deficit, which allows them to continue to lose weight. So take it for whatever it is. You'll see other people speak in chat too about their personal experience with it. So short answer is do what's best for you, Thomas. Actually, you know what you should do is in the next couple of days, in the next week or two, tell me if it's been helpful. Tell me if you're like, nah, it didn't work for me, but at least you tried it. It's another tool in your tool belt. Fair enough? Thanks for the question, Thomas. Even Kevin says it here. Thomas, everybody is different. I've worn a continuous glucose monitor. I didn't have a spike after it. Even Sydney says here, even if you have like 20 calories worth of diet drinks, you're still in an enormous caloric deficit. That's how I feel about it too. So let's talk about the journey. Hi, Elle. I see you here. Elle, how's it going? I just have to shout Elle out because I updated my intro today for my live stream. I put all the new names up there for anybody who's a Finally Fasting fam member. Your name is now at the intro. You also have that little badge next to your name in case people are wondering, why does my name look different? I have to give a lot of thanks to Elle because I had to create a whole new page of members because Elle had gifted so many memberships. So anyway, thank you, Elle. Nice to see you here. Today is day 692 of my journey. If I can get this proper screen up, which it's not working. There we go. Today is day 692 of my journey. Hi, BMJ. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. 692 days of imperfect consistency. 692 days of some really good, hard, strong moments for me, pushing hard, fasting long, getting my steps in, lifting heavy. And then some other days feeling a bit tired, not getting my fast as long as I thought I would, not getting all my steps in. And then some other days, a mix of the two. Some days, a really good long fast, but then broke and overate. Some days, I didn't get my fast in as well as I thought I would have, but I ate really clean. I put the calories to use. I lifted heavy. The whole point of this journey, the whole point of me talking about being 692 days in isn't to say I've been fasting for 692 days straight or that 692 days have been absolutely perfect, spot on. It's been 692 days of imperfect consistency. If you're like me and you have been living the all or nothing lifestyle, that it can only be one way, or if it doesn't work out that way, I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to throw away the day and start over. It's currently Saturday right now. I don't know how many people might be watching this right now where you were maybe doing well on your journey. Friday comes, you went out Friday night, and then you're like, well, I messed Friday up, so let's mess up Saturday too. Let's mess up Sunday too. Let's forget hitting a timer. Let's forget restarting the timer. Let's forget about even mindfully eating the rest of the weekend because you know what? It's over. Let's just start on Monday. What are you doing? Digging a deeper hole. And then on Monday, you're like, why did I do this? You'll feel the guilt. You'll feel the shame. And here's the thing. If that happens to you on Monday, a lot of it is based out of habit. Sometimes when people come to me and they're like, Jerome, I don't know why I keep doing X, Y, and Z. It's because it's a bad habit. That's why you're doing it. Jerome, how do I get out of it? You got to break the habit. It doesn't mean that habit's going to turn overnight. It doesn't mean that tomorrow everything's going to be sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops. What it means is you keep going. You take the good with the bad. You accept imperfection. You learn to be okay with it because that's all you have. For many of us, when we have a bad day, when we struggle, when we overeat, when we don't fast for as long as we thought we would, when we don't get all our steps in, when we don't lift the way we thought we were going to, when we have a shitty night's sleep, when somebody emotionally triggers us, when we eat out of comfort or out of boredom, when those moments happen, it happens because you're a human being. It happens because life happens. It doesn't mean you throw away the day. It doesn't mean that life is over. It doesn't mean that you start on Monday. It doesn't mean that you start on the 1st of October. Because that kind of thinking, that all or nothing thinking, that black and white thinking leads you nowhere. It just ends up getting worse. What you're doing then is you're perpetuating a bad habit. You are allowing a bad habit to continue. You are allowing a bad habit to get the best of you. And since when are you going to let a bad habit get the best of you? You're better than that. You know you can do better than that. You don't have to You don't have to live the all or nothing lifestyle. Get your head out of that situation. Get your head out of that thinking. I know it's hard. You're talking to somebody who's lived that life forever, forever. I figured it out in my 40s. That's how long it took me. Most of you don't know what life was like for me before that. I've even had people who know me now who are like, when you show me pictures of yourself 2 years ago, I can't even believe that was you 2 years ago. That's how quickly time moves on if you practice imperfect consistency, because you learn from your past. You learn how to correct mistakes. You learn how to break yourself out of bad habits. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, but you will be surprised at how much you can grow, how much you learn from just showing up, from just being accountable. This is an accountability live stream. I do this every single day now for how many days is this? 66 days, I think. I do this every day because it's my way to be accountable. When people ask me, Jerome, how are you able to keep going? It's literally because of this. It's because I see a community here. It's because I'm keeping myself honest and transparent and I'm not hiding. The other day, when I overate and I was eating just random chocolates and eating random Lay's potato chips, which were honey buttered flavored, which I don't even eat. I could have hid it. I could have said, I could have pretended it never happened, but that doesn't lead me anywhere. That leaves me hiding. That leaves me making it a secret. That leaves me pretending, let's just out of sight, out of mind. That's how I've been living my life for so long. It's a bad habit that still rears its ugly head every now and then. But every day when I show up and I share a story like that, and I am honest about it, it's me changing a habit. It's me forcefully saying, you can't hide this anymore. Do not hide this anymore. Don't pretend that it didn't happen. Because the moment it happens and the moment I do it again and the moment I do it again, the habit is built. And then I'm reinforcing the habit by continuing to keep it a secret. That's why I stand up here even if I gain 6, 8, 10 pounds the day before, because I overate. I stand up here because there's no more hiding anymore. There's no more shame. There's no more embarrassment. There's no more guilt. It doesn't mean that those feelings are completely gone. Those moments still happen. I still think about moments like that. I still feel shame and I still feel guilt. But I'm reminding myself that I don't have to feel guilty about the actions that I perform. Instead, I can at least bring them up, talk about it, and be like, yeah, I feel shitty about it. Yeah, I do feel guilty about it. But here's me owning up to it. If you can do that, if you can show up for yourself, you can show up for yourself here in these live streams. You can show up for yourself by sharing it with other people. You don't have to do it with me. You can if you want. If it's helpful for you, share. That's why people are in here in chat. That's why people share their successes, but you'll also see people share their struggles. Because if you're allowing yourself to do that, then you're allowing yourself to accept the good with the bad. And that's really all I'm asking for. In the last 66 days of my journey, in the last 66 days, 2+ months of me doing these live streams, I've been doing a live stream daily now for 66 days. I have, if you look at this slide here, this is what I like to call imperfect consistency. You'll see different lengths of fasts. You'll see 9 rounds of ADF. You'll see me eating 7,500 calories. You'll see me eating 4,800 calories. You'll see me doing 67, 66-hour fasts, 60-hour fasts. You'll see me go on vacation for a week eating 7,300 calories. You'll see me eating even 9,500 calories during my 10 rounds of ADF. This is imperfect consistency. This is me flexibly fasting flexibly. fasting in a flexible lifestyle, meaning that I am not tied to a specific number of fasting. I'm not tied to a specific way of eating. I'm not tied to a specific way of exercising. You can if you want. You can absolutely do so if you want. You can give yourself those guidelines if you want, but you do not have to adhere to them like it is set in stone. Because if you're not being flexible with your lifestyle, if you're not being flexible with your fasting, you're literally doing the all or nothing thing again. If you've ever wondered to yourself, why am I breaking a fast when the smallest of things affect me? Why am I breaking a long fast, or why am I breaking an 18-hour fast because somebody said something negative to me? Or why am I breaking a fast because I stubbed my toe on the couch in the middle of the night? Sometimes we come up with excuses because we're just looking for a way to eat. That's the truth of it. Maybe not for you, but I know for me. I used to wonder, why am I letting these small things set me off? Why am I letting these small things trigger me? And it could be an emotional response. It could be out of comfort. It could be out of anxiety. It could be out of being overwhelmed. But it could also be because I'm just hungry and I'm restricting myself too much. Sometimes we don't want to ask ourselves that question. Are we restricting ourselves too much? Is that why I'm actually truly hungry? Because I'm just hungry. And then now you're giving yourself an excuse to eat whatever because of one small specific thing. Just something for you to think about while you're working on your journey. It's another moment for you to really think and be honest with yourself and decide, am I pushing too hard? Is it time to back off a little bit? Is it time to give myself some grace? Is it time to work on other levers when it comes to my weight loss journey? Is it time to just stop thinking about fasting and nothing else? I don't know. Only you can answer that question. Only you can come to terms with that reality. But this is my reality. In the last 66 days, I have done all sorts of fasting lengths. This is flexible fasting. This is imperfect consistency. Some long fasts, some short fasts, some back-to-back days of eating, some days where I eat 7,500 calories, some days where I eat close to 10,000 calories, some days where I eat under 3,000 calories. The only difference between me and you is that I show up every day. I continue to show up every day. Some of you might be watching this and might be saying, no, Jerome, I'm here every day. Good. That's not exactly what I meant. I love that you're here every day. I'm talking to the people who are not being as accountable. Show up for yourself. Be here. If it's helpful for you, if it's encouraging for you, if it's motivational for you, be here. I don't bullshit you with anything. I think I've been on this channel long enough, sharing my story day in and day out, for you to realize that I am the real deal. And I don't like to brag about myself that way, but I'm literally the real deal. I'm here every day. I show up every day. I practice imperfect consistency. I tell you I do this naturally. I don't take anything, right? I have been overweight, morbidly obese my entire life, and I've been able to keep it off through working on my habits, through good, healthy habits. Not a lot of people can say that, especially in the influencer era, social media era. I take pride in that. I do take a lot of pride in that. That's something that nobody will be able to take away from me. People can talk shit. People can say whatever they want to say, feel however they want to feel, but nobody can take away the work that I put in and the consistency that I put in. And that's what separates you and me. That's all that separates you and me, is showing up. Because I promise you, if you can show up every day for yourself, if you can show up for yourself and do good things and work on your good, healthy habits, you'll be surprised at how you continue to grow. So I showed you the last 66 days, but I've been doing this for a long time. Today is day 692 of my journey. In the last 691 days, you'll see at the very beginning, I gave it my all. I was living a very, very all or nothing lifestyle. And I'm glad I was able to pivot and tweak and optimize, because even though I pushed really hard at the very beginning, there was no way it was going to last for 691 days. I lost 25 pounds in the first 19 days of my journey, 50 pounds in 62 days, 75 pounds in 133 days. I got under 140 pounds in 138 days, and I lost 80 pounds exact in 142 days, less than 5 months, fasting for an average of 93 hours. It surprises me sometimes how hard I was able to push then, but I was really motivated, and I was thinking in a very all or nothing mindset. Here's the thing about the all or nothing mindset. It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword, the all or nothing mindset. You can do amazing things with an all or nothing mindset, and anybody who thinks this way, you know what it's like to push hard. You know what it's like to give it your all. And I see nothing wrong with giving it your all or pushing hard. But what you need to do is take that all or nothing mindset, live the all part, be there for the all part, but don't resort to the nothing part. You got to find the middle ground. And that middle ground will eventually be what imperfect consistency is, what fasting flexibly is, what accepting imperfection looks like. Because we all know what the nothing part of this looks like. We all know that when we think in a black and white type way, that it's only one way or no way at all, that when you give up, when you say the hell with this, when you decide to stop hitting your timer, when you decide to just order whatever and spend whatever money and eat as much food as you can, you know there's no good way out of that. You're digging a deeper hole every single time. Now imagine what that looks like if you don't fast for as long as you thought, if you don't eat as well as you could, but you put some stops in there, and you find that doing something in the middle is a lot better than going the complete other way. In the last 691 days of my journey, even though I was averaging 93-hour fasts for 600, or even though I was averaging 93-hour fasts, nearly 4-day fasts for the first 5 months, in the last 691 days overall, that average has dropped from 93 to 49 hours. So half that time. Only fasting for about 2 days on average instead of 4. But what I love about this is the fact that even though my fasting lengths have been cut in half, I've been able to continue to keep the weight off almost 2 years later. I've been able to add more muscle. I've been able to continue working on myself and learning about myself in ways that I never thought I'd be able to. Every day that passes by, I'm just like, shit, this is a new tool I could use. This is something that I can take with me. This is another way for me to keep the weight down. This is another way for me to make this sustainable. This is another way for me to keep this consistent. long-term success when it comes to fasting, long-term success when it comes to your health and wellness, it comes with sustainability. You have to make it sustainable for you first. You have to be like, oh, okay, I can do this every day. I can eat like this every day. I put that video out earlier today, and it was from a past live stream when somebody asked, am I going to be, or how do you live, or how are you okay with just fasting and dieting for the rest of your life? Well, first of all, it's because I don't look at it like that, because this is just how my life is, because I make it sustainable. Even on the days when I do eat and I quote unquote diet and I'm eating under 3,000 calories, it's still enjoyable. I do have to put the clamps down to make sure I don't go overboard on the calories. But that takes practice. That takes time. I'm still eating the foods I really enjoy eating. Even with the fast that I do. And you've heard me say this before. Fasting for 36 hours, 40 some hours is nothing for me. This is easy for me. The fasting part is the easy part for me. I have no problems when it comes to the fasting. The diet part is the one that I am continuing to work on. That's just how it works for me individually. Everybody's situation is different. Some people might not be good at fasting for as long, but might have a better handle at their diet. Some people might not have their diet handled that well, fasting okay, but their exercise on point, their sleep on point. They don't get triggered or emotionally triggered like some people do, like I have. Some people don't overeat the way I do. Use those tools to your advantage. Use those levers to your advantage. If you suck at one thing, well, you know where your weak point is. Continue working on it. If you're good at one thing, leverage that. Use it to your advantage. But don't forget to keep working on the other things. If I just sat here and I just put all my focus and attention to fasting and just did 90-hour fast over and over and over and continued eating 7, 8, 9, 10,000 calories, eventually one of those things is going to give. I'm eventually going to feel burnt out fasting, which I have. I'll eventually continue to keep building worse habits when it comes to eating. If I don't fix those other things, if you don't fix those other levers, what are you doing? You're just perpetuating your bad habits to continue. Okay. I'm like, where am I at here? More nerd stats. In my last 10 refeeds, you'll see that I have done a number of different caloric refeeds. Some under 3,000, some a little over 3,000, some way over 4,000, 5,000. You'll see one there showing 9,500 calories. My refeeds, they vary if I'm going out. They vary if I'm trying to put the clamps down. They also vary because sometimes the control part is very hard for me. But the only thing, or the thing that doesn't change as I continue showing these refeeds day in and day out, is I show up every day, regardless if I eat 9,500 calories or 2,900 calories. I continue working every day. I can be like, yeah, yesterday's refeed went a little nuts. I got to work on that. Oh man, 2 refeeds went crazy in a row. I really got to start getting better at it. That's why you don't see me pushing longer fasts right now, because right now I know that the fasting part is easy. The diet part isn't. And I want to prove to myself that I can be successful doing shorter fasts. And I've already proven that going from 90-hour fasts to 65-hour fasts to 42-hour fasts. And who knows, maybe one day Maybe one day I'll be doing a live stream and I'll be eating back-to-back days, 4 days in a row, and keeping the weight off. But I'm not just going to get there tomorrow. That's going to come with time. That's going to come with practicing working on my diet lever. That's why for many of you who are worried that you can't fast as long, that you can't control your eating, that you can't get your sleep right, it comes with time. It comes with practice, just like anything else. If we look at my last 10 refeed weights and my last 10 fasted weights, you'll notice me pushing weight up 4, 5, 6, 7 pounds after a refeed. If you look at the green highlights, you'll notice me losing that weight 24 hours later, losing 4, 5, 6 pounds. Did I gain 4, 5, 6 pounds of fat in one refeed? No. Did I lose 4, 5, 6 pounds of fat after a 24-hour fast? No. A lot of that is water weight. I say this every single day, but it's to reinforce, it's to show you all that the number on the scale is going to push up after a refeed and is going to swing itself back down again after a prolonged fast. And not even that prolonged. These are just 24 plus hours after. These are just alternate day fasts that you're looking at here. If you look at the very last bullet, you'll see that after my last refeed, I was 148.8. This morning, 143 pounds, losing almost 6 pounds after the last refeed. The only thing that I'm concerned about here is if you look at the last 3 bullets, you'll notice the refeed weight push itself up. And that's because the last couple of refeeds, I've been eating a little more than I should. I've been eating a little outside of the good foods that I should. And you'll also notice the last 3 fasted weights, you'll notice the weight also pushing itself up, 142.4, 142.6, 143. Now, I'm not worried about it because I know I will get back into my groove. I mean, I feel like I'm very in my groove at the moment. I just need to tweak. I just need to refine. I just need to make sure that when I refeed, I keep the calories down, that I don't keep going for random food in the cabinet. Today's going to be a hard day for me because today is a 20% day for me. Today, I'm going out for dinner. After this live stream, I have a little more work to do, and I'm going out to an all-you-can-eat place today. And I'm really excited about it. And I'll probably be eating 6,000 calories or 8,000 calories or maybe 4,000 or maybe 10,000. I don't know what that number is just yet. But I'm still going to keep track of my calories. I'm not going to be weighing everything and being exactly precise, but I want to give myself at least a roundabout number so that I keep myself in check and know, okay, that's a lot today, Jerome. Maybe time to scale it back. It's a way to be accountable. So you'll also see me recording it. You'll see the different kinds of foods I eat, how much of it I eat, or at least I'll talk about it. I'm just excited to eat tonight. I'm excited to be with friends and family and loved ones and enjoy my time, especially as time is starting to wind down for me here before I leave the country. I really want to cherish these moments with the people that I'm close with, and I don't want to give that up. This is also part of flexible fasting, is giving yourself opportunity to eat every once in a while and then tighten things up, tighten the screws down when you can. If we look at my refeed stats, my last 30 refeeds, my average refeed time around 5 hours, a little over 5 hours, average calories around 4,100 calories, average protein at 207 calories. My calories per refeed are still high. this is still a number I want to continue to move down. It's going to take time, whatever it looks like. That number is going to push itself up today too, because I'm going out to eat. I'm going to have a refeed. I'm going to be eating more than I typically would. Uncle Reggie became a new member. Uncle Reggie became part of the Finally Fasting fam. Can we throw some F's up for Uncle Reggie? Uncle Reggie, you can throw some F's up too. Because now you're a member, you'll have the custom emoji. Uncle Reggie, thank you so much for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the support in that way. If anybody is wondering what a membership looks like, you'll get your name at the intros of these live streams. You'll also get to use custom emoji. You get a little badge next to your name too. So Uncle Reggie, thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's the part too. I don't know if you joined the OMAD group or the autophagy group, but either way, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for the support. I love that. Uncle Reggie says, the vibes are immaculate in this community. They are. I think we fostered a really good community. I think we fostered a really kind community. And the one thing as well is I don't put up with bullshit here. So when people are trolling or being whatever, I nip it right away, because a lot that we share here is vulnerable. A lot that we share here is being honest, and for people to, poke at that, I don't have tolerance for that. That's also part of the mental for me, is I want to keep things positive. I think it's really important, especially for many of us who are working on our health and wellness journey. So Reggie, or Uncle Reggie, thank you for the support. Thank you so much. It isn't just about fasting. You've all heard me say this already. This is more than just fasting. This is about the way you eat. This is about your cardio. This is about your strength training. This is about good sleep. This is about your mental health. When people say, Gerald, what do you mean about your mental health? I'm talking about, are you eating for comfort? Are you eating because you're anxiously eating? Are you eating because you're bored? Obviously, there are so many other things when it comes to the mental part of it, but your health and wellness journey is more than just about fasting. As I show this slide, you'll see here, these are my cardio stats. My daily step average now for the last 66 days has been close to 16,000. Yesterday's step count was over 15,000. My goal is to just hit about 13,000 a day, AKA 15,000 steps 6 times a week. Strength training, I strength train every other day. Every other day, I go to the gym, I lift weights. I'm not doing anything crazy, but I will lift heavy on the days where I'm feeling it. I do make sure that my form is good, my form is correct. I really do enjoy lifting weights. It's really good to maintain muscle, to add muscle, because it helps your metabolic rate. It helps improve your metabolism, because the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. The more calories you burn, the more weight you lose. The more calories you burn, the more opportunity you have to eat more. So just kind of keep that in mind for people who are not really working on their strength training, the importance of doing that. I'm not saying you have to go to the gym and lift the heaviest weights, but for some people, what it might mean is just doing something as simple as body weight exercises, push-ups, doing squats, body squats. I remember when I started doing squats without weights, I was like, oh shit, this is exhausting. I feel my muscles working doing this. You have to do what works for you. Claddy, hi Claddy. So you came up with how many hours you needed to fast to lose or maintain. I did, Claddy. So Claddy also says here, I'm asking because I need to start. And I know when you did a 90-hour fast, you would eat about 6,000 calories. Now that you fast about 48 hours, you eat less. So just trying to get an idea. Claddy, that's exactly it. And I've shared this before, Claddy. And so advice for you, coaching for you. The way this might work is, yes, when I started my journey, I realized that if I fasted for 90 hours, I could still eat 6,000, 7,000 calories. I could still eat to satiety, because I had trouble controlling my calories. But as long as I did a 90-hour fast, the weight would push itself down every single time, every single time. So when I lost 80 pounds in 5 months, when I was doing rolling 90s over and over and over, you know how people talk about plateauing, about stalling? I never stalled. I didn't stall the entire time for those 5 months. I lost weight every single time. Why? Because I figured out a system that worked for me. So for you, Claddy, right? You have to think about first of all, what your TDEE is. How many calories you burn in a day based on your BMR, based on your basal metabolic rate, and based on the activity you do for the day. If you're wondering, well, I don't know what my TDEE is, go to tdeecalculator.net or .com, I can't remember. But all you have to do is type in TDEE calculator on Google. Anybody watching this right now, you want to know how to do this? This is how you do it. Go look and get your TDEE down. Let's say for example, your TDEE is 2,000 calories. Well, then you need to figure out now, well, how long or how much do I eat on a refeed? Do you typically eat 2,000? Do you eat 1,500? Do you eat 3,000? If your TDEE is say 2,300 and you're eating 2,000, well, you should be losing weight at that point. If your TDEE is, let's say 3,000 because you're overweight or obese, let's say your TDEE is 3,000. And if you're obviously eating 3,500, 4,000 calories a day, well, of course you're going to gain weight. That's just calories in, calories out. But if you're looking for a guide at how many calories to take off, sometimes the rule of thumb for many people is just subtract 500 calories. You don't even have to fast for longer than a day if you can keep the calories down. But if you want to accelerate it, if you want to get the weight down quicker, you could do something like that as well. So if your TDEE, let's say, is 3,000 calories, if you were to fast for 48 hours, 2 days, that's 6,000 calories burned. And then if it's time to refeed and your refeed is 3,000 calories, well, you got a really good system there because you'll continuously start to lose weight. Now, remember, as you lose weight, I think a lot of people get this mixed up too. For many people, if you check what your TDEE is, if you are overweight, if you're obese, if you're morbidly obese and your TDEE is high, if your TDEE is, let's say, 3,000 calories, 3,200 calories, remember, the more weight you lose, your TDEE will go down. When I weighed 235 pounds at my heaviest, my TDEE was probably really high because for me to stay at 235 pounds, I would have to keep eating a ton of calories every day. Now at 140 pounds, my TDEE, which might have been 3,000 then, is 2,300 today. So remember, as you continue to lose weight, your TDEE will continue to go down. The one thing that I have done that's been helpful for me is sometimes what I've done is I will go check what my goal weight is. So my goal weight is around 130 pounds. And at 130 pounds, my TDEE is somewhere around 2,300. So sometimes I look at that and I'm like, okay, let me just get what my goal weight is and let me just eat that many calories on my goal weight. So that could be something many other people could do as well. If you're unsure about how many calories to eat, plug in your goal weight on the TDEE calculator. Plug in your goal weight and then eat that many calories. Because whatever weight you're at, if you're overweight, if you're obese, if you're morbidly obese, your TDEE will be higher. If you want to accelerate it, fast longer, cut the calories more. It's really still an in-out situation. But like I've said, it's more than just the fasting part. It's more than just limiting the calories. It's also your exercise. It's also the mental part. There's a lot that's layered into it that many of us forget. So I'm going out tonight to eat. I'm going to an all-you-can-eat place. I'm really excited about it. And today is what I call my quote unquote 20% day. Jerome, what's a 20% day? A 20% day is something that I practice. It's an 80-20 rule that I give for myself. Meaning 80% of the time I do what I should be doing. The other 20% of the time, I'm going to enjoy myself. If you look at the last 66 days for me, using the 80-20 rule, in the last 66 days, I've had 55 80% days where my calories have averaged around 3,100. But if you look at my 20% days, my calories are at around 5,900. Jerome, 5,900, that's a lot of calories. You should be gaining weight eating 5,900 calories. Yes, but look at how often those 20% days happen. In the last 66 days, it's happened 11 times, which is about my 80-20 split here. You don't have to have an 80-20 rule. I give myself an 80-20 rule because for me, having a 20% day is like mental relief. It's an opportunity for me to go out with friends so that when people ask me, Jerome, do you have plans on such and such day? I can schedule my days out. I can be like, okay, these days are my 80% days. Here's my 20% day. When I'm going out with family, when I'm going out with friends, when I'm going to a party, when I'm going to a wedding, when I'm going on vacation, here are my 80% days. Here are my 20% days. Sometimes just planning things ahead makes all the difference because then you're being accountable. And make those. Here's the thing. When you're planning and you're strategizing, make these things realistic. I get it. You want to push hard. You can do that. You can tell yourself, ideally, this is what I'd like to do. But put some realistic expectations as well. Because for many of us, if we don't put realistic expectations on the table, sometimes we set ourselves up for failure because we're, again, doing the all or nothing thing. I've worked with people where they'll tell me, Jerome, I want my goal to be to fast for like you. I want to fast like you, Jerome. I want to fast 90-hour fasts, do rolling 90s, and get the weight off. And then if I ask them, when's the last time you've done a 90-hour fast? They'll be like, I've never done one before. Now, is that a realistic expectation? Probably not. Would I deter them from doing it? No. If you can healthily do it, if you have the motivation to do so, go for it. But you have to understand that if a 90-hour fast doesn't happen, you can't just throw away the day. Put some realistic expectations. Put a backup plan in place. Know that you still have to do something instead of just throwing away the day completely. But today's a 20% day for me. I'm very excited about it. I think those are all my nerd stats for the day. That is. Okay. Now that's the wrong slide. That's also outdated now since we're a couple days past. What I was trying to do was get to my photos. It's time to do fit check, everyone. If you're unaware of what fit check is when I stand back here. It's when I show you what I look like physically. I do it for honesty. I do it for transparency. So even if I refeed and I gain 8 pounds, even if I eat 9,500 calories, I will still stand here the next day and show you what I look like for transparency's sake, because it's important for me to be accountable in that way. Before we do fit check though, just a reminder, I have been overweight my entire life. This isn't something that just happened 5 years ago. I just didn't get morbidly obese 10 years ago in my 30s. I have been overweight, obese, morbidly obese throughout my entire life. Through my teenage years, through my 20s, through my 30s, and even in my 40s. At my heaviest, I weighed 235 pounds. And while that might not sound a lot for some people, I'm also only 5'3" tall. I'm short. So for me, at 5'3" 235 pounds. I used to wear a size 38 waist. And you have to remember, even that size 38 waist, that wasn't going over my belly button. That was going under the belly because that was where I was at my heaviest, or that's where I was the skinniest to put a pair of pants on. I was wearing an XL or a double XL adult shirt. I was pretty big, almost wearing a size 40 waist. And today I can't even fit in a size 28 waist. It's too big for me. I have to wear boys' clothes at this point. This shirt that I'm wearing is actually an extra small. This shirt is actually smaller than many of my boys' shirts that I wear. So this is a very, very lean shirt at this point. But let's do fit check. I'll give you a look at what that looks like. So again, this is a size extra small shirt. This is a very, very slim shirt that I'm wearing. It's like super slim. And these shorts are extra small shorts. So we'll do a full shot right here. Full shot, side shot, rear, side. It's the old school MTV. And you can see, right? This is where I have maybe about, like, I would say anywhere between, I don't know, 8 to 12 pounds to lose is my guess. Maybe 6 to 10 if I'm being lucky. But this is where the rest of my weight is, right here on the belly. I feel like I don't really have it much else anywhere else. I mean, here as well. And again, you got to remember, this is a very slim shirt. So I do wear a compression shirt underneath. Yes, I do have loose skin. That's a question I get asked a lot is, Jerome, do you have loose skin? Yes, I do have loose skin. I have loose skin here on my neck. You can see it here. I have loose skin on my upper arms. I have it on my lower belly. You can even see it here too, right? Right here. On my upper inner thighs. It's not the worst, but I have it. I'm 44 years old. I've only lost this weight recently. It's not like the skin was just going to be perfect afterwards. It's one of the reasons, though, that I do lift weights, that I do like to strength train, because my hope is, as I continue to build muscle, as I continue to get additional muscle on me, that it can help fill out loose skin here, which is why, like, I'll go like this every so often. I also just like the aesthetic look of lifting weights. DEC, or is it DEC for December? What age were you when you started losing weight? I have lost and gained weight my entire life. I have struggled with losing and gaining weight forever. I have struggled with that for a while. But if you're asking me when I really lost the weight, I initially lost all this weight back in 2020, 2021. So when I was 40 years old, I went from 235 pounds all the way down to 125. And then in mid 2021, after losing all that weight and keeping it off for like a year and a half, I gained it all back. All of it, gained it all back. And then in 2023, 2+ years later, I came back to YouTube and I lost it all again. Now, I'm not at my goal weight. I wasn't even at my goal weight back then when I was 125, because I wasn't working on muscle as much as I am now. I wasn't as focused then. And I was living a very all or nothing lifestyle prior then. So I lost all the weight and then gained it all back. And here I am sharing today, day 692, almost 2 years in, keeping this weight off. And I've learned so much since then. So hopefully that answers your question. Acadian Comic says, do you lift and work out during your 90-hour fasts? I did. I worked out. I walked every day, 6 days a week for an hour. And so for Acadian and for DEC, If you're ever wondering what my journey looked like then, I have it completely documented. So when I tell people that I don't bullshit about anything, my entire journey is highlighted on this channel. You can go back to 2020 to see it the first time, or you can go check in November of 2023 when I gained all the weight back at my heaviest and showed myself at my heaviest for the first time live. That's crazy to think about the journey then. And I've documented that journey since 692 days later. So I've answered many of those questions. I've talked about many of those things. So feel free to check there, but you can also ask here. I'm happy answering questions then. I see Aisha's question there, and I'll get to that. But before I continue on, this is the Q&A section, everyone. If you have questions, I want you to ask them now. If you have something that you want to share, please feel free to do so as well. I'll highlight what I can. But before we continue with questions, if you are looking for help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We can talk about a game plan. We can talk about a strategy. My goal is simple. It's to get you to your goals. It's to get you to where you need to be. And it's not just to get there, but it's to make sure that it can be long-term, that it can be long-lasting, that you don't ever have to say again, tomorrow is going to be my day one. You don't ever have to say again, I'm going to restart, because we all know that this journey never ends. The journey should be ongoing. The journey should be a continuation. Because if you're starting over and restarting, you have to get yourself out of that cycle. Finallyfasting.com, if you're looking for help in that way. You can also check the website out for merch. I do sell stickers. I have hats. Obviously, no pressure when it comes to that. You don't even have to book a coaching session. It's just, if you're looking for additional help, you can check that out. But if you do want to support in a different way, if you go to the link in this live stream, like Uncle Reggie did, well, I don't know if he went to the link in the live stream, but if you go to the link in the live stream, you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. If you, oh my goodness, that's just, wow, look at that timing. Uncle Reggie kind of jumping in there like L. Uncle Reggie just gifted 5 Finally Fasting memberships. Uncle Reggie, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for gifting some memberships to other people. If any of you are in here in chat right now who got gifted a membership, you better thank Uncle Reggie. Uncle Reggie, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much. Here's what a membership gives you. You'll get your name on the intros to these live streams. Uncle Reggie will get his name on the intro to these live streams. You get a badge next to your name. So that's why your name will look different from other people. You get to use custom emoji. You get to have those Fs or the little clock emoji I have. This sticker one that I have here. I do have my other one. Yes. You could throw these Fs up. And you just get to support me in that way. If you do join the higher tier membership, then you get to join me on our Wednesday night live streams where we have a group accountability coaching session where it's a smaller group of people, but we all share our accountability. We all share our individual goals and we talk about it. And it's not just me on camera. Other people will jump on camera. Other people will talk, even just through audio or in chat. So if that's something you're interested in, you can check that out as well. But Uncle Reggie, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. Don't forget to thank Uncle Reggie if you got gifted a membership. So again, thank you so much. Okay. Q&A, if there are any. I mean, I know I've been answering questions throughout the live stream, but if there are any other ones, I will go through it. So I'll answer Aisha's. Aisha says, what time do you plan on live streaming tomorrow, Jerome? Great question, Aisha. I love the consistency in your questions. So tomorrow, Tomorrow is quite a busy day for me. I have some afternoon sessions. So actually, tomorrow we'll do a later session as well. Tomorrow we'll probably do a session around this time. It'll probably be around, my guess is going to be later in the afternoon, because I do want to have later sessions on Sundays because I know that's what most people are used to. But we'll probably do one, I would guess, at around 4:30 p.m. Central, maybe 5:30 p.m. Central, but I would say around that time. Today's session was supposed to be earlier. I do apologize. I know I think I said 2 p.m., but I just ended up having to push that out a little bit. But I appreciate people being on here today. But for anyone who's wondering, that's what time I'll be live streaming tomorrow. We'll say around 4:30 p.m., maybe 5 p.m. Central. Okay. Here's the thing too. So Jacqueline, thanks for the comment here. Jacqueline says, I remember in 2023, someone saying that it's unsustainable, but 2 years later, you're still maintaining. And exactly that. I'm living proof of it. And here's the thing. Remember, Jacqueline, it's not because I have been doing 90-hour fasts over and over and over and over and over. I have done 90-hour fasts. I continue to do 90-hour fasts every now and then, but it's also because I have learned to fast for a shorter amount of time. I have learned to control my calories. I've learned to optimize my cardio. I've learned to really lean into lifting weights. I've learned to figure out a lot of the mental parts within eating, within emotional eating, comfort eating, stress eating, eating out of anxiety, eating out of feeling overwhelmed. Now, remember, just because I might have quote unquote figured it out doesn't mean that it's completely cured. It doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect, because many of you who have been following me know that over the last, I believe it was over 2 months ago, I put on a bunch of weight because I felt overly, I felt, I was going to say, I felt overly overwhelmed. No, I felt very overwhelmed, and old habits came into play. When I finally told everyone that I was moving out of the country, a lot of my weight gain happened because I felt so overwhelmed with everything that I had to do that the old habits kicked back in, and I was doing shit that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And that's why these live streams, these daily live streams came to be, because it was a way for me to be accountable and a way for me to be transparent. And like you said, here I am. It's not exactly 2 years later, but we're almost there. November 6th will be 2 years of doing this. And it's not like, think about it. It's not like my fasts have gotten longer. My fasts have gotten shorter. I've been able to eat more frequently, and I still get to eat whatever I want. I've just learned to optimize the way I eat and enjoy what I eat and make it sustainable for me. I know, not exactly a question, but thought I would just chime in with that. Babatunde says, sorry guys, I failed. First of all, don't talk about it like that. You didn't fail. It's an opportunity for you to grow. Failure, here's the thing about failure, especially for me too. When I lost all the weight in 2021, when I got down to 125 pounds and then I gained all the weight back, and I pushed myself back up to around 220. Yeah, I can look at that as a failure. But when I look back at it now, I look at it as I wasn't being accountable then. That was the missing piece for me. I learned a lot since that time. I wouldn't look at it as complete failure, but a way for you to reflect on what's happened over that time. You put back 6 kilograms. Could have it been worse? I'm sure it could have. You could have been me, and you could have put on 37 kilograms. I believe that's around 80 pounds, something like that. Pressure at work, then gave up. And here's another thing. Work, that's a trigger. You know that's a trigger. So maybe what it means is now trying to figure out how to work that out. How can you cope without food? Struggle to get back. I keep starting tomorrow. How do I get back on track? Babatunde, I've seen you here multiple times. I think you know how to get back on track. You just start hitting your timer. Start recording how long you're fasting for. Start being accountable. If it's helpful for you, show up on these live streams or show up on the comments if you're not able to make it, and update all of us on how you're doing. Remember, this is a community here. We're all trying to help each other. I'm trying to help you. That's literally my goal at this point with anyone that's here. There's no bullshit here. I'm not trying to get anyone to spend a ton of money. Obviously, I'll always offer other ways to help, and if you want to help me out, but at the same time, my goal is the same. I want you to be successful. You don't need me exactly to do that for you, but if I can help you, take advantage of that. Lean into it. Getting back on track for many of us just means getting up and going again, hitting your timer, building your fasting muscle. For many of us, getting back on track just means working on your other weight loss levers. If you're somebody that's only focused on fasting and nothing else, it's time to start thinking about the other levers on your weight loss scale or on your weight loss chart. How good is your eating? Are you making healthy, mindful choices? Are you keeping your refeed times short? Do you snack in between your TUMAD? Are you snacking all day? Are you eating ultra processed foods versus eating whole foods? Are you prioritizing protein when you eat? Are you getting your steps in? Are you doing any kind of cardio? Are you strength training? Are you doing any kind of body weights? Are you getting good sleep? How often are you getting emotionally triggered to eat, to comfort eat, to eat out of boredom? Do you see how layered this is? Do you see how so many things affect us, and why so many of these things that affect us, it's so important to work on every single one than focus on just one thing. Babatunde, please keep us posted. I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you sharing that vulnerability, because that isn't something that most people do either. Not a lot of people will be vulnerable in that way. A lot of people like to show their successes, and I love that for them. I always say that, but at the same time, it takes a lot to share when you're struggling. So please keep us posted. Keep us posted. Acadian says, what's the best way to keep your energy up when you work out while you fast? This is going to depend from person to person, but for me, when I first started fasting, my energy wasn't there. My energy took time to build. I mean, I'm talking to all of you right now, and I know I'm talking with a little gumption here. I'm talking with a little more energy today because I feel very passionate about what I do, but I'm currently 42 hours fasted right now, 42 hours in, and I feel great. And I walked, how many steps am I in right now? I don't think I'm in a ton of steps at the moment. Yeah, I'm only at 11,862 steps right now. And I have a ton of energy. It's taken time for me to build. What's the best way to keep the energy up? You could try caffeine. You can make sure that your sleep is good. But here's the real advice too. If your energy isn't there, if you're feeling weak, if you're feeling nauseous, if you're feeling lightheaded, make sure that maybe you're getting your electrolytes in. I don't take electrolytes when I fast anymore, but maybe electrolytes, sometimes what I used to do, I would take a pinch of salt, put it under my tongue, and I'd be able to keep pushing on. Sometimes it would just take drinking caffeine like a Coke Zero and having that carbonation, and I'd feel good. But the reality of it is, if you feel weak, if you feel nauseous, if you feel like you can't keep going, break your fast. Break your fast. People don't like when I say that, but the reality is, if you do not have the energy to function, if you are in a place where you're not feeling like yourself, you're not feeling normal, break your fast. There's no shame in that. Break your fast, because what happens after you break your fast? You refeed, you get the energy you need, and then you go again. It's as simple as that. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about flexibly fasting. When I talk about using different lengths of fast to your advantage. If you're not feeling it one day, break. If you're like, I don't want to break this early, then eat better, clean up the diet. That part has to be important too, because then that will encourage you to keep going. I'm not just picking on you, Acadian. I hope you know that. I'm just saying. Just some advice from one to another who has done this for a minute now. Aisha says, I have another question. Will you be showing us footage of your refeed tomorrow? I will. You'll see where I ate at and what I ate. I probably won't film everything, but because I'll be with other people and I'm sure they're not going to want just me filming myself pointing food at the camera all day, but I will be sharing some of that with you. So be ready for that tomorrow. Okay, let me see if there are any other questions here. Hey, AJ, what's going on? I haven't seen this name. I always like when I see new names here. Hi, Jan. Good morning, Jerome. Magandang umaga, Jan. I can't help myself but speak in Tagalog. You keep on inspiring us. We watch your Instagram posts daily. I appreciate the support. Jan, thank you for supporting. Salamat. Maraming salamat. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, Todd. I see Todd's name here too. I'm just trying to say hi to people I haven't said hi to in a minute. Andrea, hello. I think that's it. I think that's all the comments today. So I think we're going to call it because I'm about to go get dinner. I'm about to go enjoy my refeed. You're all going to get to see that today. Or you won't see it today. You'll see it tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll be live streaming at around 4:30 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Central. So around then, my question to you is, will you show up tomorrow? Will you show up for yourself tomorrow? I mean, you don't have to show up here. It would be nice if you did. I'd love to hear from you. You all might not realize this, but after these streams end, I read through all the comments. I read through all the chat. It's really helpful for me to see the support. It's really helpful for me to see people succeed and even see when they struggle. I read through everything. I read through all the comments because I care. I absolutely care. This is motivational for me. It's great to see people find success. It's great to see people evolve. I love even seeing when people share how they've been doing this for a while and they've never hit this weight until now. The struggle is real, everyone. This is not. Here's the thing about this journey is even if you're watching this right now and you're like, oh, fuck it. I don't care. Then what happens? Nothing. You eventually have to come back to your good, healthy habits, not to me. You don't have to come back to me. If you want to support me, that's great. What I'm trying to say is you can't just give up. You can't give up completely. You have to learn to accept the good and the bad. You have to learn to accept imperfection, because the moment that you realize that, okay, I can minimize this damage, it doesn't have to be this bad, I can do other things to take care of myself, you will figure it out. How do I know that? Because you're looking at somebody who's doing exactly that. I am that example. I am living proof of that. When I was 40 something years old and I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to, here I am now after 40 plus years, after being a type 2 diabetic and reversing that, after having high blood pressure and reversing that, after having low testosterone and reversing that, after now having the most energy in my life, feeling the best I've ever had, being in a place where even for me, when I talk about being happy and healthy, this is the best shape. This is the best mental I've ever had. The journey never ends. It's never going to end. You have to realize that for yourself. Your journey is never going to end. So it's probably time to start doing something about it. You can take the motivation. You don't have to, but I'm guessing you're here for a reason. Babatunde, with 10, I always forget, pound, 10 pound, 10 euro. Please help me out here, chat. Babatunde, thank you so much for the 10 sticker. I don't know what that sticker looks like just yet, but I will take a look at that a little later. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Babatunde, just again, I hope that you stick around. I hope that you continue to figure out what your journey looks like, that you just show up for yourself. It's really important that you do. 10 pound donation. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Lexi, I haven't seen you in a minute. Speaking of others I haven't seen in a minute, Lexi, hello. Hi, Jerome. Hope you're doing well. I am. I've been busy training for my first 10K. Hope the Finally Fasting fam has been doing well. We've been doing pretty good. Lexi, it's so nice to hear from you. I appreciate you. Speaking of people I haven't heard or talked to in a minute, Julissa, hello. Hi, nice to see you as well. Maybe Julissa's always hanging around, but thanking Uncle Reggie for the donation there or the gifted membership. So, okay, that's it for me today, everyone. It's time for me to skedaddle. I always like when I say skedaddle. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for the motivation and support for me as well. Remember, I appreciate all of you. All of you, we're doing this together. This community means the world to me. I appreciate everyone for being kind and supportive to each other. Please continue that. Please continue to foster this community. Before I do go, again, wait a minute. Uncle Reggie, did you donate multiple memberships? Did I miss that? You did. Wow. Uncle Reggie, I was like taking a look at my donations. Uncle Reggie gifted 10 memberships. Uncle Reggie, thank you for gifting 10 memberships total. If you got a gifted membership, please thank Uncle Reggie. Uncle Reggie, thank you so much for the additional gifted memberships. Thank you, Babatunde, for your donation as well. Thank you for all the support. Everyone, thank you so much today. I appreciate you all. Let's do this again tomorrow, okay? Show some accountability. Share the good with the bad. You all know I'm going to be pushing up weight tomorrow. You all know that. I'm going to an all-you-can-eat place tonight. So I'm going to get my fill. And then what happens tomorrow? What happens after I eat tonight? Am I going to just say, well, there goes my journey. Time to do day one tomorrow. Time to start over tomorrow. No. I'm going to go refeed tonight. I'm going to sleep well. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to hit the gym. I'm going to go for my walk. I'm going to work. I'm going to do my coaching. I'm going to do all the shit that I need to do because I want to continue to work on myself every single day. You should too. All right, everyone. That's it for me. Thank you so much again. Thank you all. Thank you to my Finally Fasting fam members. Thank you for supporting me additionally in that way. And thank you to everyone else for being here. I appreciate you so much. We'll do this again tomorrow. Thank you. See you then. Bye.